Hey, what's up out there, YouTube? Double D here with Tournage Dubois. Welcome back. Today we have a little bit different video format here. Now just past my 2-year mark on YouTube and kind of wanted to reintroduce myself as well as share some things that I have learned. The channel's had some pretty significant growth over the past few months. So this is just a way to make sure that everybody's up to speed with me, what's going on, what I've learned, as well as share some things that hopefully will help you grow if this is a journey you're taking with your woodworking as well. First of all, my name is Daniel, Tournage Dubois. My friends call me Double D, so welcome to my channel, welcome to my family of woodworking. So absolutely glad to have you along for the ride. I got my first lathe just over 2 years ago. Well, I started using my lathe just over 2 years ago, got it a little bit before that, never really used it. Was inspired by 2 channels in particular, Hodgepodge Woodworking and Duca Heritage. Those are some channels that I saw and just really inspired me to try and push and do something new. So that's where I started out. Started, my father's had a lathe my whole life. I was hoping I could share my work with him and the rest of my family, which is why I started this channel, and you all have joined that family now. Started off with a really cheap set of tools. Wasn't happy with it, wasn't happy with what I was turning, how things were coming out. So the first thing I did, the first real purchase that I made, was I bought some carbide tools. You're gonna get a lot of wood turners out there who say carbides are absolute not used for wood, they're not good tools, etc. I will tell you that they worked great for me, and that they gave me a huge confidence boost with the quality of things I was able to put out, the smooth curves, things like that I wasn't getting with the traditional tools at the time. So I got myself some carbide tools. Started off with a small set from Easy Wood Tools. They worked great. And then I upgraded those carbide tools to the Ricon set. So these have an interchangeable handle, 3 different parts. You've got your diamond tip, your round tip, and your square tip. And so you just switch out the one you want and go from there. These made a world of difference with getting me started in turning. So I was really happy with how that turned out. Some things you learn though: carbide tools are scrapers, not cutters. So you're not going to get that super smooth finish that you can often get with traditional tools. So you have to spend a little bit more time sanding, but you're sanding anyway. So if it makes you more comfortable, by all means try out some carbides if that's what works best for you and get you to where you're more comfortable. So I used those for a while, and my buddy Jim over at Garnered Wood, I'll put a link to his Instagram down below, gave me some feedback and some things, indicated to me some techniques, suggested some more videos for me to look at on techniques. And so I bought I'm not going to say expensive, because this is by no means expensive, but it was a lot better quality than the Harbor Freight tool set that I started out with. Once I got the feel for this, I rarely use my carbides. Typically now I use carbides with negative rake cutters if I'm doing resin work, or I will use it if I'm trying to get that tenon off or do some real fine detail work that I'm not really comfortable with my traditional tools using. So that made me super happy. Starting to use this traditional tool, I was starting to get much better cuts. Learning to ride the bevel, which is the important part. So riding the bevel is when you have the entire bevel of the tool up against the piece you're working on, and you're just sliding it right along and just barely cutting any off with that edge. That made a world of difference in the quality of the cuts that I was getting, and therefore stepped up my game, so to speak, with the comfort level and the quality of the work I was putting out. So that made me really happy to be able to get to where I was comfortable with traditional tools, which is something I had worked on for a long time and just hadn't gotten to that point. Then my buddy Brad over at Brad's Workbench, and I'll put a link to his information down below as well, told me about these Yellow Hammer bowl scrapers. These are amazing. They're not super expensive. They're not going to break the bank. But getting a good edge on this and then using that to finish out the inside of a bowl, get everything smooth, get some of those ridges and things out, makes the world of difference. So using these tools has just really taken the inside part of the bowl turning, made it a lot easier as I'm going through the process. I then got an additional bowl gouge from Dubois tools. I got a really large one. Still getting comfortable with that, but the thing I like about the Dubois tools is that they have interchangeable handles. So you have one handle that you get, and then you can get different size of tools with different flutes that you can utilize. There's going to be scrapers in there, there's going to be skews, there's going to be bowl gouges, spindle gouges, everything, so you can buy one handle or two handles and then just buy the tools that interchange with those as you go. So that is something I'm going to be looking to expand as we move through the future with their tools, and really try to expand the tool collection that I have to be able to utilize in more situations. Sanding, some things that I've learned there. Sanding, quality of paper will absolutely make a difference. And when I first started, I thought any sandpaper will work, it'll be great. So I got the cheapest sandpaper I could possibly get. I will tell you, the cheapest sandpaper that you can get lasts about 1/4 as long as a good, higher quality sandpaper. So spend a little bit of extra money on the good quality sandpaper. The other thing I learned in that, higher speed on the spindle when it's turning on the lathe does not equate for a better sanding. A lot of times the bowl will move or wiggle or vibrate a little bit depending on how the thickness of the piece. And so therefore you can get a little bit of weird sanding as that happens if the piece is expanding and contracting as it spins. So I tend to sand at a speed of about 300 to 350, 300 RPM to 350 RPM. And then I use the rotary sander with it. So instead of having just radial sanding marks from the sandpaper going around, it now spins, and therefore you minimize some of those scratches, and they're easier to hide as you go through the piece. So that has been a tremendous asset to me in learning something else to really take my work to the next level, and that's using a little bit slower sanding speed than what I was used to. When I first started, I was going 600 to 800, sometimes even 1,000, depending, thinking, oh, you know, the faster I go, the faster the sanding's going to work. It's not going to speed up your sanding process, and you can actually cause more issues than not. So unless I'm doing pins or very small blanks on kits, I run at about 350 RPM at the most when I'm doing my sanding. As most of you know, if you've been watching my videos, I use Brad's abrasive paste on all my pieces. That I've used some other brands as well with their abrasive paste. They all work very similarly. I'm just really happy with Brad's, and I want to support somebody local and somebody that's just getting started. Super happy with how his works. Super happy with the affordability and the quantity that I get. It lasts a long time. His tongue wax finish is a great finish that I utilize as well. Puts a nice matte coat finishing on the piece. Goes on relatively easy, and is quite durable. I'm really happy with that. He also has out the Tung honey finish, and I'll put links to all this information down below, his Etsy store and things. So if you're in the market for an abrasive paste and finish options, definitely check out his products. They are not just for wood turners though, but they work for wood turners. They also work for flat work, and I know he does a lot of flat work and uses his Tung honey on those as well. So check out his information and his products, and definitely follow along and give them a try if you're in the market. I really like my Mahoney's walnut oil. That's a really good finish, goes on really well. I also use a polymerized tongue oil, which means that it's been heat treated so it dries faster than regular tongue oil and cures much faster. So instead of putting one coat on every day to day and a half with regular tongue oil, you can typically go anywhere from 4 hours to 8 hours to recoat with the polymerized tongue oil. So that happens, and that works really, really well as well, and I'm super excited. As many of you know, I do a lot of stabilizing as well. I am in the process of trying out a new stabilizing resin from Shed Life. I'll put a link to their information down below, specifically to the resin I'm going to be using, and that will be in my next video where I'm working on a piece that I'm stabilizing some wood and I'm going to do some casting. So if you're in the market for casting materials for resin or for dyes, for mica powders, etc., I have an affiliate link down below to Eye Candy Pigments as well as Black Diamond. Definitely check those out. I actually really enjoy both of them very much. The Eye Candy has a lot more variation than the Black Diamond, but they're both good quality products. So definitely check those out down below if you're looking for mica powders or different options for coloring in the process of doing resin casting. So that is me over the past 2 years in a nutshell. I greatly look forward to any feedback that you have. I welcome you along on this journey, and I definitely appreciate all the support that you all have provided over the past couple of years as I've grown and gotten to know each and every one of you. So thanks for following along. Feel free to comment down below. And if there's something if you have a question or something you want to learn about that maybe I can help you, put that in the comments as well. And if it's something that I can address during a video in the future, or even in the comments to help you out, or even direct you to another channel of something I've seen or found out there as well, I'm more than happy to do that. I have a lot of channels that have inspired me to grow. I didn't do a lot of pins until I found Wouldn't It Be Nice. Hugh over in the UK does absolutely amazing pins, and I had never even contemplated turning pins because all I wanted to do was big stuff. As a direct result of that, I have started doing other kits as well with the kaleidoscopes I did not long ago, keychains, different things that beginners might want to try if they don't, especially if they don't have a larger lathe. And I was blessed to get a larger lathe early on in my process. So super thankful for that and the opportunities that has afforded me. If this is your first time here, please do consider subscribing. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If not, give it a thumbs down. But as always, leave a comment down below. I look forward to hearing from each and every one of you. I appreciate you. And once again, welcome to my family of woodworkers. We'll catch you next time.